Look at a map and you'll see many rivers curving like snakes across the land. But have you ever wondered why they don't just flow straight to the sea? In this video, we'll explore the science behind those elegant bends and arcs. A river starts out traveling downhill, obeying gravity. Yet small obstacles, rocks, uneven ground, push the water off a straight path. Over time, these tiny detours grow into gentle curves we call meanders. Picture pouring water onto a sloped sandbox. The water rarely runs in a neat line. Small ridges or grains cause it to zig and zag. The river's real-life version involves similar bumps on a much larger scale. As water flows around a slight bend, its outer edge moves faster, while the inner edge moves slower. Faster flow means more erosion, carving a deeper channel on the outer bank of the bend. Meanwhile, slower water on the inside of the bend drops sediments, sand, silt, gravel, building up the inner bank. So one side gets worn away, and the other side piles up, exaggerating the curve. This process is like a dance. Erosion pulls the river channel outward, and deposition shoves sediment inward. Step by step, the river's bends become more pronounced, lengthening the journey downstream. Rivers can develop dramatic loops called oxbows. Occasionally, a loop grows so large that the river cuts a shortcut, leaving the old loop behind as an oxbow lake, an isolated U-shaped water body. Look at the Mississippi in the United States or the Amazon in South America. Their meanders can be wide and sweeping, shifting position over centuries. Entire farmland plots can move from one side of the river to the other. A winding path might seem inefficient, but it helps slow the river's flow and reduce destructive floods. Gentle curves spread out water over time, protecting nearby land from a sudden rush. Rivers also carry nutrients like tiny floating treasures. Meanders allow those nutrients to settle, creating fertile soil on the inner banks, perfect spots for farmland or lush vegetation. Wildlife loves these curvy channels. Fish find calm waters in slower inside bends, while birds find food along muddy banks. The variety of flow speeds fosters a range of habitats, boosting biodiversity. Sometimes humans try to straighten rivers for building or navigation, but nature often reclaims its bends, recarving meanders over time. A straightened river might flow faster and cause more erosion or flooding downstream. Meanders aren't exclusive to big rivers. Small creeks and streams also twist and turn for the same reasons. If you see a little stream in the forest, notice how it's never a perfectly straight line. Gravity is still the key driver. Water always wants to flow downhill, but tiny irregularities keep it from flowing like a perfect slide. Curves are the river's compromise between gravity and the obstacles it meets. The bends constantly shift. The outer bank erodes year after year, while the inner bank grows. If you visited the same river bend decades apart, you might notice it's moved significantly. This shifting can reshape local geography, creating wetlands, islands, or new channels. Communities near meandering rivers must adapt as the water's course changes naturally over time. In extreme floods, a river might dramatically jump track, slicing through a narrow bend and leaving an abandoned channel behind. These sudden changes remind us that water is powerful and unpredictable. River meanders can even form beautiful S-shaped patterns from above, like cursive writing on the landscape. Space station photos often reveal these mesmerizing ribbons of water winding through valleys. Early human settlements thrived near meandering rivers, enjoying rich soil for crops and easy access to water. Ancient civilizations recognized the fertility and resources that come with these winding watercourses. Plants also play a role by stabilizing banks with their roots, slowing erosion. Forested riverbanks tend to develop meanders that shift more slowly, while barren banks can erode faster, amplifying the bends. If a river were perfectly straight, it would likely flow fast, cause more damage downstream, and lack the varied habitats meanders provide. Curves are a balancing act between the land and the water. Next time you spot a winding river, remember the dance of erosion and deposition. Steady, patient forces of water and sediment shape each curve, creating a living, shifting mosaic across the Earth's surface. So why are rivers so bendy? Because water, gravity, and the landscape team up to carve an ever-changing path. The result is a graceful, looping journey that benefits wildlife, land, and all of us who rely on that flowing ribbon of life.